Howdy folks, Cal Ditmar, Trappin' Fool, bringing you another episode of Cal's Kitchen. In this episode I'm going to show you how to make deer heart. I had a lot of people that used to give me their deer hearts until they learned how to cook it, and a lot of people ask me how to do it. I'm going to show you one of the ways, and I'll explain another way that I do it while I'm cutting this up. I've already got it started here. I'm going to go ahead, before I get to the heart part, all I do is flour, salt, pepper, and garlic powder again. Usually, like I said, I always use the rock salt. Got just black pepper. You can use fresh ground if you want. Always garlic powder, never garlic salt, because it'll make it too salty. And then flour. Usually for one heart, like most of my bases, it's 1 cup of flour, and then I add the salt, pepper, and garlic to taste. Just wet your finger, put it in, and taste it, and that's the best way to do it. That's the batter or the breading that I use. I usually use bacon grease, which I'm standing by the stove. I've got it going right now. I'm kind of keeping an eye on it. That's why I keep looking away. Usually bacon grease or butter. You can do it in butter too. What this is going to be is just fried. So when I get the hearts, make sure you clean them out real good. Rinse them in water. I always cut them in half, which you'll see here when I focus on the heart here. I've already got half of it cut up, but I left the other half whole so you can see what I do to clean it up too. Get all the blood out of it. Soak it in water. I usually get at least 24 hours in a saltwater bath. That usually works fine. I've ate them right as soon as I get home too. Just rinse them off. So I'm going to focus on the heart here so you can see what needs to be done and go from there. Hopefully you can see it here. Hopefully it didn't flip upside down on me or something. I don't know, my camera looks like it's doing some crazy things here. Alright, maybe it's just that. Anyways, you can see the heart. I've got half of it cut up. Cut it in half like I said. Rinse it out real good. Now you'll see all the sinuses in here, or nodes, or whatever they call them here. Usually you've got fat here too. Cholesterol, whatever it is, I'm not sure what it is. It doesn't taste real good. So what I do is I trim this off. Just like any good piece of meat, you need to trim the fat off. Trim that off, trim it back a little bit. That's just scrap. Now it's always a thick piece here, and what I do is I just cut that right off there, because right here is a tough piece too. So then you're left with this nice piece here. Then what I do is just slice it at 1/4 inch, basically about 1/4 inch thick. If you want it a little thicker, you can cut it thicker. I like it at 1/4 inch because it cooks about pretty fast, tastes real good, and that fits real good on sandwiches in. Go all the way to the end, there you go, it's all cut. Nice 1/4 inch slices. Get the stove fired up a little bit hotter here because I'm ready to be cooking now. So another way to do it that I like to do it, soy sauce, salt, pepper, a little Worcestershire sauce, some red wine, garlic, and do it in a crock pot. Then I just put the whole heart in it. Usually I'll cut it in half because a lot of times it'll have big blood clots stuck in it. So if you cut it in half, it gets those clots out. It can be kind of disgusting when you bite into one of those. But looks like my grease is getting hot enough here. Alright, I'm going to focus over here on the pan now. Try and zoom in a little bit here. Focus needs to be on the food, not me. I'm an ugly SOB, so I don't need to be breaking my camera. Alright, throw this in here. Definitely hot because it's starting to smoke. Might need to add some more grease to it. Got it turned down. Come on. Alright, got it all in the bag here. Ziploc bags, as you can see, are my favorite. Put it in there, seal it up, shake it around. That's all there is to it. I don't know why this thing is going so hot today. Alright, I know it's hot enough. Then what I do is take these individual pieces, lay them in. Hopefully you can see. I'll try and get out of your way here. Got a couple more pieces here, so I'll make a little room here. They will shrink up as they start cooking, so you should be able to get the room you need. Alright. Keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't burn for me, okay? I'm gonna rinse my hands off here. Alright, didn't burn, did it? Alright, great. Now I'm gonna grab a plate. Alright, I'm back. Now, just need to flip them, see how they're starting to brown up? So I need to turn this down about medium heat. I started with it on high, got a little too hot too fast for me, but it happens. Get all these flipped over here so the other side can brown up. If you're using butter, sometimes what happens is you don't have enough grease in here. So what I'll do, as I'm cooking, I'm flipping and putting more butter in there too. It's actually starting to turn into a nice base for gravy here we got going on. I'm going to add just a little bit more grease in here, some fat, because it's kind of getting a little thick. Alright. Let that, whoop, greasy fingers. Let that cook a little bit. Something else you can do is, a lot of times what I like to do, shake it around like that. That way I slop it all over, but not to fear. That's why I keep this with me. Just to make sure they're not sticking. I don't know if you can see this or not in here. Oop. I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit better here. See the blood spots on some of these? That's good because the blood's cooking out of it. Any meat's going to bleed, so don't think it's just the heart. There's meat, blood that gets trapped in it. Basically what I look for is once it's all brown and it's not bleeding anymore, it's done. So it's getting pretty close. Flip them again just so they don't burn. Don't want them burning on the one side. So, like I said, remember the other way to do it is in a crock pot. I'll cook it on low, just when I go to bed at night, is all it takes, about 6 hours, more than enough time for it. Cut it in half. I usually wait till I have 2 or 3 of them to do it in a crock pot like that. And then when it's done, you can take it out and you slice it the same way. For sandwiches, or you can just use it as a big chunk of meat there, like a steak too. When you do it in the crock pot, make sure you clean it off the same way that I showed here. Get the fatty parts off of it there, the cholesterol or whatever that is. Get that off of there. But after you do one, you'll figure out what the tough parts are in there. The nodes and stuff that need to get removed. I pretty much showed you how, so. Now when this is all done, I like to eat it just the way it is here, or it's really good between two slices of bread with a little cheese on it, a little horseradish. Really tasty that way. And it's getting pretty close. Most of the time. Heart is a little bit, well, any organ meat really is kind of a tougher meat sometimes. It won't break with a fork. It's something you could do too if you wanted to soften it up a little bit more, make it a little bit more tender. So when it's done here, throw it in the oven, 350 for half hour or so. Get it pretty close, get it browned on both sides, and then just bake it the rest of the way. You can bake heart too. My mother likes to bake it. I've always liked the bacon grease and frying it. That's why I got this belly going on now. So, alright, well, I know the little tip here is going to be done, so we'll get it out. We'll get that other one out too. Let it cool off a bit here. Now, what we could do too is pull this out. We can slice this up into smaller pieces. We got a good base going for a good gravy here. Make a good brown gravy. Add these heart back to it, all cut up. Serve it over potatoes, mashed potatoes or rice. That's really good too. That's another good way to do it. I'm telling you, heart is a really good meat. In fact, everybody that I've ever got hearts from, after I told them how to do this, I don't get hearts from them anymore. So I probably shouldn't be showing you guys how to do this, because I'm not probably going to ever get a heart again. I've had buffalo heart, haven't tried pig heart yet, tried elk. Antelope is one I'd like to try. Heart is my favorite part of the animal. I'm not a liver eater, never really been a big fan of liver. I do eat it, but not often. The heart, every deer I kill, I eat the heart. This is a deer that I killed. Actually, this all looks good. Browned up. Got a little bit of blood that's still bleeding through, but you can see here. Whoop, drop that in there. I don't know if you can see this. Oh, wrong way. Gotta learn my camera, I guess. This piece right here. Now, come on. Alright, that piece right there, can you see that part there? That's actually the blood that cooked there, that darker spot. Here's another one where the blood's cooked. That's what I look for. This is ready to go. It's done. The blood's came out, it's cooked, it's ready to go. So, we'll back this off a little bit. And you can put it on paper, napkin or whatever. Some people do just to let some of the grease dry off, but there's really not too much here in this one. You can microwave this too when it's done. Like tomorrow if you want it hot again. Don't nuke it very long though. It does get tougher as you nuke it. But usually I don't let it last that long. Alright, like I said, there's a good roux going on here to make some gravy if you wanted, but I'm not never cared for the heart and gravy. I just like the heart as is. So get that off to the side. Give me a minute, I'll get back in the picture here. And we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a try. Alright, here we go. Back on me. God, I'm an ugly SOB, aren't I? I should have shaved for this, huh? Oh well. Alright, here we go. Here's the tip of the deer heart. Favorite part of the animal. I'm telling you right now, you'll never throw it out again, and you'll keep it. And you won't give it away if anybody wants it like me. So, if you decide you don't want your heart, get in touch with me. I'll eat the deer hearts from you. Alright, that wraps up Cal's Kitchen, the episode of Deer Hearts, which will probably gross some of the people out, but it's meat just like any other part of the animal. So, try and eat everything and save every part you can. Until next time, Trappin' Fool out. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to me here on YouTube. Find me on Instagram at Cal's Outdoors. I also have a Facebook outdoor page, Cal's Outdoors. So you can find that one by going Caleb Outdoors 2016 on Facebook. Just search it. It'll take you right to it. So, alright, until next time, Trappin' Fool out. Thanks for watching.